As a small business owner, we are constantly juggling multiple responsibilities in order to keep our businesses thriving. From managing social media to updating our websites, client work, writing blog posts, email list, taking care of our mental health, it can add up very quickly. If you ever find yourself struggling to stay motivated, trust me, you are not alone. I've been there too. So in this video, I'm gonna go through some of my to-go methods of motivation that help me get through the days when I'm just feeling a little less motivated and really need to pull through and get my work done. So grab a cup of coffee, a notebook, and a pen to take some notes if you want, and let's dive right in. The first thing we need to focus on is addressing what is causing your lack of motivation. For me, typically it falls into one of two categories. Typically for me, it means I'm either creatively bored or I'm feeling very, very overwhelmed. And understanding where you fall on the spectrum is so important because the solution depends on the root of the issue. Once I pinpoint what's holding me back, then I can look at specific strategies to either reignite that creativity element that I feel like I'm missing, or on the other end of the spectrum to help reduce that mental clutter that's making me feel overwhelmed. So now I'm going to share some of these strategies that I use in my own life and business with you. The first strategy I use when I seem to be lacking some motivation is something that I like to call is my daily research topic. And this is a simple habit that I do every day because I genuinely enjoy doing it. I've always loved trying new hobbies because I always found that it sparks my creativity and motivation, and just that element of being able to learn something new does a lot for me, and it really helps me bring out that creativity side. So here's how it works. Every day I set around 10 to 15 minutes aside to research something that kind of piques my curiosity or my interests. So this could be something that's business related or something that I'm just in general curious and want to learn more about. The key is that it engages my mind and fuels my curiosity. I find that these daily research topics really helps me to boost my excitement and helps me stay inspired. If it's something general you're kind of looking into, you can definitely search Google, but what I try to do is utilize YouTube or listen to a podcast to kind of dive deeper into a topic. And if I do this while I'm working, I try to keep it to a topic that's relevant to what I'm working on. So for example, today I'm filming a YouTube video, so while setting up my office, I could be listening to a YouTube video and someone talking about storytelling techniques or SEO or things behind the scenes when uploading a YouTube video, just some tips and tricks that can help me out, that can improve my own workflow and my own videos. That way I'm not just consuming information, I'm actually applying it to what I'm working on. The next tip I have for you, which is one of my non-negotiables that every single day, very simply put, I go for a walk. So what I want you to do every single day is I want you to take a 15-minute walk. I want you to schedule it somewhere within your schedule so you are making sure you're like, okay, I have to go for my walk. What I want you to do is I want you to grab a notebook and a pen. So you're gonna step outside preferably. Right now I live in Wisconsin, it's very cold, it's in the middle of winter, but if you can, get outside and just go for a walk. No phone, no electronics, no distraction. You take your pen and paper and you just go for at least a 15-minute walk and you just start writing. So there's two things that I focus on during this walk. The first part of my walk is kind of just brain dumping, and I will just write down whatever mental clutter kind of comes to me. If I'm thinking about filming a YouTube video, if I'm thinking about my Instagram strategy, if I'm thinking about gotta get this client work done, I have to edit these photos, whatever it is, I just want you to write it down and get it out of your head and get it on that piece of paper. So once you get all that mental clutter out of your head, what I want you to do is I want you to focus on one thing that you're gonna be working on the rest of the day. So if you're gonna be working whatever it is you're working on, I want you to focus on that topic and I want you to exclusively write and focus on that. So once I get past that like initial brain dump period and I start writing and actually focusing on whatever it is I'm working on, there's this like weird calmness that washes over me. And what I mean by that, you kind of start getting in this flow state where you start figuring stuff out and you start developing and you're like, okay, I actually have this dedicated time. No other distractions, your body's moving, you're walking, you're feeling great, you're getting outside, you're relaxed, and this calmness just washes over you, and it really helps you get into that flow state and reach that creativity level and that calmness that allows you to really develop your thoughts and ideas. I sometimes stretch this walk out to 30 minutes because I really love that state once you're in it and you're like, okay, I feel that creativity, I feel that flow, that calmness, I'm really like developing my ideas. And once you hit that point, you'll recognize it, and then I would just extend out your walk a little bit longer, make sure you get all your thoughts and ideas down on that piece of paper. So the next thing I want to talk to you about is you have to track your progress every single day. And the way that I do this is I use a note card system. Every single day I have a note card where I track this specific thing. So I use this note card every single day, and it has a bunch of different things on it. Like I track my to-do list, what I'm posting on social media, my habits, things that I'm working on that led me to reaching my goals, and things that I should not focus on. And at the very bottom, there is this little chart that I graph out, which I keep track of pretty much 4 things. On a 1 to 10 scale, I will track my energy, my productivity, my happiness, and my focus levels throughout the course of my workday. So every hour on the hour during my working schedule, I will reference my note card and check in and write down where my level is at. And these 4 items that I track don't have to be what you track. If there's something else you want to focus on, do that, but this is just what works for me and what I like to focus on tracking. So by the end of the week, you can sit there and line up all your note cards and take a look at Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Where was I lacking? Where was I performing well within these different things that I'm measuring? And then also you can look throughout the week and see, okay, what hours during the day was I most productive? When was I really focused? For me personally, 10 a.m. is a great time for me to be focused and productive. So now I know, okay, next week I'm gonna schedule some of my bigger items during that time block, because I know I'm gonna be focused and productive. So this is a really important tool to be able to see where you perform well. And then there's some hours, like probably around 2 o'clock and beyond, a lot of these metrics kind of tail off and aren't as strong as they are in the morning. So I know I need to get my work done in the morning, know what hours have the best productivity levels, the most focus, when I'm feeling the happiest, and that's when I get my work done. So there's not as much pressure at the end of the day when things aren't feeling as focused, productive, happy. I don't have to worry about getting all my work done at the end of the day. And I actually made a full video about this on my Patreon. If you want to go check that out, you're more than welcome. That goes over this whole note card system. Like I said, the front side kind of just has my to-dos for the day. The back side has more in-depth information like this that kind of helps me track and stay on top of pretty much everything within my business, the important heavy hitter micro tasks that really move the needle within my business that allows me to reach my goals. But if you have a specific question about this, leave it in the comments down below. I'll be more than happy to answer it. Next, I want to talk to you about writing your to-do list. So when I create my to-do list, I will never write something like edit client gallery or edit so-and-so's family images or newborn images or wedding images, for example. Instead, I'll break this to-do list down into micro tasks. So for example, right now I'm editing a wedding. So what I do on my to-do list, instead of writing edit wedding gallery, I will say edit 15 images from the ceremony from my client's name gallery. So that way I know exactly what I'm working on. It's very specific. I'm editing 50 images. I know what portion of the wedding I'm editing in, which in turn makes this task feel more manageable and very clear. The key is just to make your to-do list as specific as possible. The more clarity you have, the easier it is to be focused and to get your work done. So in conclusion, I just want to say that it's so important to just acknowledge that tough days are normal. We're all human. Running a business, especially something as personal as photography, it means we pour so much of ourselves into our work. So it's okay to feel drained or stuck sometimes. It happens to all of us, and it does not mean you're failing. When I feel like this, I just remind myself that every single person on this planet has off or rough days. But the key is not to avoid them, it's learning how to work through that. So I hope some of these tips and tricks have helped you and you can utilize them within your own life and business. And if you wouldn't mind considering giving this video a like and hitting that subscribe button down below, it's a free way to support my channel and it is greatly appreciated. So with all that being said, thank you so much for watching and I will see you in the next one.